John Vaughn here. Here's a follow-up for my do not give your name when appearing in court. So you need to appear. This is called an appearing without appearance, or appearance without appearing, whichever way you want to say it. Appearing without appearance. That's the best way to put it. When you show up via Zoom or in person and they ask you to state your name, you simply say, I am an interested party in the case of blank versus blank, or the number, whatever you want to say. I'm just here. I'm an interested party in this case. And they say, well, can you give me your name? You say, no, I cannot, because I have a right to remain silent. Anything I say can and will be used against me in a court of law. This is a court, and therefore I am invoking my right to not give testimony against myself. I have a right to not give testimony against myself. Giving my name as testimony against myself, therefore I'm not going to do it. Then it's either going to get dropped, or they're going to say, we're going to put a bench warrant out for you for not appearing. If they try to do that, well, they're going to do that. You immediately, as soon as you get done with your court case, you have a friend with you. This is the important part. You have to have a friend with you. The friend also has to say the same thing on Zoom, on the phone, or in person. Your friend also shows up and says, I am an innocent party in this court case. I do not wish to give my name because this is a court of law, and anything I say can and will be used against me. And I have a right to not testify against myself. Therefore, I will not state my name, but I am here. That's what they say. That's what you say. Think about it. Use chat. Make something beautiful. Make some poetry out of it. Really let it sink in. Immediately afterward, you already have a pre-written affidavit of truth. Well, let me stop. If the judge starts to get bossy with you and say, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, like on the record and let the record show, are you ordering me, a neutral third party invested, who has an invested interest in this case, to either stay here, or you just say, you're going to make me stay here, you're telling me I have to see, you're ordering me to do that. Let the record show that you are ordering me to say that, or stay here. You have to stay here. If they make you stay here, okay, you're ordering me to stay here. Make sure you say on the record, for the record, and let the record show. Are you ordering me, a neutral, unidentified, third-party, invested interest, person in this case, that you are, you're going to just make them say on the order, whatever they're trying to force you to do, make them say on the record, for the record, and let the record show. Are you forcing me? Are you ordering me to say this? You have to say that. Okay, they won't do that. They will never do that, because then you have a whole bunch of rights that that their case is done. They're going to say, okay, I'm going to put the warrant out for your arrest. You go to the clerk. You go downstairs to the clerk immediately. You have a pre-written affidavit out. You sign it in front of her. They notarize it there. It doesn't matter if they sign it there and they notarize it there. That doesn't matter. You showed up to court. They didn't proceed in court. They put a warrant out for your arrest for not showing up, but you did show up. You were there. They didn't call the case. They weren't able to proceed because they weren't able to identify you. That's just why you need two people. If you just show up individually, you can fuck yourself. I'm sure you can. And shut up. Don't talk. Don't say anything. After you say that, just say, am I free to go? Am I free to go, or do you want me to stay here? And then if I'm staying here, are you ordering me to stay here? That's all you have to say. That's it. Don't say a fucking thing else. The more you talk, you're going to dig yourself a hole, and you're going to be screwed. You're going to be screwed. Immediately afterwards, you go down to the clerk, you submit an affidavit of truth to the court for that court case. You make sure you have your court case number, who it is. You write, I, so-and-so, was here and I was present at court on this day and date. Then your friend says, I, a living human being, so-and-so, living human, you have to say living too, because in the Black's Law Dictionary, all humans are dead. You have to say, I'm a living human being. They have their own dictionary for the law. They don't tell you about it. You have to say it. You have to say, I'm a living human being. I was here on this day, and you get a notary to sign it. And you have two witnesses saying you were there, you were present, they didn't call the case. It's a loophole. It's a way out of everything. That's it. There's nothing else to do. If you screwed up and you're already in court, all right, and they start to read you, you are being charged with this, you are being charged with this, you are being charged with this. You just keep saying, I do not understand. I do not understand. I don't give a shit what they say, what they threaten you with. They can only hold you in jail for 72 hours. That's it. And if they do that and they still can't get you to convict yourself and understand, dude, you've got a lot of stuff. So when you say I understand, you are standing under their authority. You are standing under their authority. I stand under you. I understand you. Don't say I overstand you. Say I do not understand you. I do not understand you. And they're going to have you pulled aside with a lawyer, and he's going to be buddy-buddy with you, and they're going to put you, maybe have a security guard. They're going to try to intimidate the shit out of you. That is what they do, but they're easily defeated. just keep saying, I don't understand. If they throw you in jail for 72 hours, it's 72 hours. Once you get out, I'll tell you how to do a countersuit and get everything they own, because they violated a bunch of rights. All judges, all lawyers, and all attorneys, all prosecutors are part of the Bar Association. BAR stands for British Accredited Registry. They are foreign agents operating on American soil. There is something called the TONA Act, T-O-N-A. It's a fact. It's a founding document of this country. I don't know if it's the Bill of Rights or it's under the Constitution, but they added the TONA Act to one of those. It's under one of those. Trust me, it's there. That means you cannot accept money, privilege, title, nobility from any other foreign power, king, queen, or government. You cannot, and hold authority over United States citizens. Not citizens, upper and lowercase citizens, not United States citizen. That's debt slave. But it says in the TONA Act that they cannot do that. You can invoke that. Let them know that, hey man, you're violating the TONA Act by coming after me. I'm a living human being. Well, that's something for later. Don't say that in court. But all judges are guilty of that. All lawyers are guilty of that. All attorneys are guilty of that. Every single one of them, every prosecutor is guilty of that. And that's a capital punishment. It's punishable by death. Also, there's a crime called bartering and personage. Personage is where you are knowingly misrepresenting a living human being as a corporate fiction or something else. When you are in a criminal court, they're all statutory. They're all equity courts. There are no law courts under the United States of America. There are zero in your state. Now, I live in New Mexico, so there's a difference between New Mexico State and State of New Mexico. New Mexico State, Wyoming State, California State, New York State are the physical places. State of New York, State of Wyoming, State of New Mexico, those are the ideas, those are businesses. And the maxim of law is the created can never have control over the creator. They deceived you with the birth certificate and the whole United States citizen shit. That's a whole nother video. I've made it. I'll check it out later. John on Focus. Anyway, so that is a crime that every lawyer, every attorney, every prosecutor, and every judge is guilty of. They are guilty of personage. It's a real thing. You can sue the shit out of them if you identify yourself as a living human being. Also, they are guilty of something called bartering. I can't remember bartering right now, but it has something to do with the Bar Association and pursuing it. Look up bartering. I can't remember bartering right now. Anyway, so those are two crimes they're doing. Also, I want to remake this thing. So a lot of you say, oh, they're going to hold you in contempt, blah, blah, blah. I want you to think of, remember, court is a game. When you play on a court, you play basketball on a court, you play racket on a court, tennis on a court. Court is where you go to play a game, okay? That's why you have two sides where they battle it out. And in real law, the judge just sits there and makes sure things stay civil and that you are upholding the laws of nature, the laws of God, they're the same thing, and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. As long as you, whatever you are doing, does not violate those laws, as long as you do not violate those laws, you can do whatever the hell you want. And you have a right to travel. That means you can drive wherever you want. Well, not drive. You're traveling. Driver, under Black's Law Dictionary, is a legitimate defined thing. You either have to be driving people or moving like semi-trucks. Those are drivers. If you are moving yourself, you are traveling and you do not have a passenger, you have a companion. It's about what you say. If you use their language, you automatically get locked into their system. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying. When you give your name at court, so this is a game, okay? Think of it no different than a television set. When you go on TV and you go on Amazon Prime, you hit enter, okay, that's your ticket. Now you find the TV show you want to watch, you click enter. Now you're in the court. When they say, give me your name, that is clicking the episode. When you say your name, you essentially hit enter and you give them access to give you these criminal. You now have to play their game of crime and law, statutory law, legal. There's a difference between legal and law. Legal literally means the undoing of God's law. Look it up. It's the 1860s Encyclopedia Britannica of Arts and Sciences, I think. But it does say it, and since it's written down, that is the definition. Legal means the undoing of God's law. I'm not making that up. So guess what the legal system is? Well, yeah, anyway. So when you hit enter, when you say your name, you essentially hit enter and you give them authority. That is how they trick you. That is how they trick you into their game. When you state your name, state, New Mexico State, state your name. That is you getting tricked into their fucking system. And you, when you say your name, agree to play their stupid fucking rules. Once again, I am here. I cannot give my name because I have a right to remain silent, and I have a right to not give testimony against myself. And since my name can be used as testimony in this court, I have a right to not say my name. That's all you say. It's no different than hitting enter on the button. It's literally the same thing. As soon as you hit enter, that's what you're doing when you say your name. You're hitting enter. When you don't do that, you can bypass it. You can bypass it. You're going out of their program, and then after they say, am I free to leave? Well, we're going to put a warrant out for your arrest. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. You go write an affidavit of truth. I showed up. They didn't call the case. That's on them. You fucked up, not me. I was there. And you have a living human being swear on an affidavit of truth, and they can't fuck with it. You bypass the whole system. Become the greatest version of yourself. Buy a Republic flag. I'm going to have a new flag coming out here soon. If you go on my actual website or my Facebook page and look on top, that is my flag for the new rebellion. Or not for the rebellion, but for the new country. Hey, let's make it fun. Become the greatest version of yourself.